Zach, are you finished?
Yep.
Great. So I wish we were live so we could give Zach a real great round of applause. He's an amazing, yeah, let's do that. I see some of you applauding. I can almost hear you. Yeah, he's an amazing, amazing staff member we have at Rutgers. And so we're so super excited that he is with us, that he helps us with IT. So we made it. We made it to the fall semester. I'm Dwayne Battle. I am an associate professor of teaching and the director of the undergraduate social work program, along with Dr. Sarah Plummer. We are your advisors, and we're part of your team. We're just doing this together. And so this is the year that we will never forget. I was so looking forward to 2020. I grew up on 2020 Monroe Street all of my growing years in the nation's capital. And boy, I was looking for 2020. Yeah, made it through the first 2 months pretty good. And we all know what happened after that. But social workers are just an amazing group of people. And we specialize in just making it happen when we need to. And so through our dean's leadership that you'll hear her speak in just a few moments, we've been working really throughout the spring semester, the summer semester, now into the fall semester, to make this the most enjoyable academic year you could have. Really, certainly not because of what's going on, but really in spite of it. And we are determined to do that. And so I give you a great big welcome to the 2020 fall semester and our BASW Orientation. For those of you who were with us last year, you know we do this in person typically. Like a lot of things, we have to shift to virtual. And but we are going to make it happen. We're going to be available to you throughout this orientation. Afterwards, Dr. Plummer and I will spend some time in open advising, and we will just continue to be there with you. We don't want you to feel that you're disconnected because we're virtual. So I'm going to hand this over to our Dean Catherine Potter. She is the Dean of all of social work in all of its many forms here at Rutgers. And so we're just delighted to have her joining us today. So Dean Potter.
Morning, everybody. Gosh, it's so great to see everybody. I actually feel like I'm seeing your faces a little better than I do when we're standing in the giant ballrooms in Camden or New Brunswick, which is how we usually launch the year. Welcome back, seniors. You're going to graduate this year. Fantastic. And welcome, juniors. You're more than halfway through. It'll be the blink of an eye, and we'll be in spring 2021. And maybe we'll all be together then. I hope that's a true statement. I just wanted to say a few things this morning. You are joining a really great community. Our full-time faculty, our part-time faculty, our field instructors. We've got over 15,000 alumni who basically run everything in the tri-state area. We are a really highly diverse and highly engaged community. We're really glad that you're joining us or returning. This is not how we planned to start this year, right? This is not what we had in our head, especially juniors or your first time with the school. It's not how I planned to say hello. It's not how we plan to be in classes together. But one thing we've really found out over the last 6 months is that human beings are tremendously resilient. And we are absolutely capable of creating community in these virtual ways. We've watched it happen. We're going to learn a lot more this year. You are pursuing your BASW at a really historic time. It's chaotic, it's stressful, it's dangerous in some ways. Our lives are just really in a new reality. But there's also so much opportunity for change in times like this. When things are disrupted, then there's a lot of room for disruption and change and building new structures. Before it's all over, we might get to redesign many of our social systems in this country. And social workers are going to be right there for that work. We're facing two giant threats, COVID-19, its immediate consequences, and there's going to be a long tail, as you know, of social consequences from the health pandemic. We're also facing a historic reckoning with racial injustice in our country. And that reckoning also has room for both danger and opportunity. Room for change. This is really our time. I feel like in my lifetime, and you're young, so maybe you'll get multiple of these opportunities, but in my lifetime, this is the time to step up, right? So it's a really exciting time to be pursuing the BASW. Social workers are really well prepared for this time. We as a profession, we are focused on justice. We're focused on solving problems. Last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, there was a thing on NPR about what is intelligence really? And it was actually fascinating and wide-ranging, but at one point, a person said, intelligence is the ability to navigate problem spaces. And I thought, well, this just confirms what I know. Social workers are the most intelligent people in the world. This is what we are prepared to do. We're flexible and resilient. We are called to make a plan. Oh, make a new plan. Oh, better make another plan. Things are changing, right? This is what social work practice really looks like on the ground. It's what we're preparing you to do. And these are the qualities that are going to make people successful in this time in history as well. We have the ability to engage diverse communities and be partners for change, a wide range of people and systems. We see both individuals and their needs and the social systems that surround them. And we're preparing you to intervene all on that continuum. We are really prepared to build stuff and to lead stuff. And that is the call right now. So welcome. These times are crazy for sure. But as a person who's much closer to the end of their career than the beginning, I'm a bit envious of you all as well, because you are going to have a career. It's really going to be interesting what you get to do. Look around the Zoom room, and you are going to find some fantastic peers with whom you will share a career and with whom you will grow and lead in this region. We know quite a bit about you because we've seen your applications and we've connected with you. So you all just got here. Some of you just got here. Some of you, it's your senior year, but we're already very proud of you. So welcome aboard. Two bits of information. One, the School of Social Work is launching a new 5-year strategic plan in September. You're going to start seeing stuff about that next week, and there are going to be some opportunities for student engagement for sure. And one final important piece of advice. You get 1,000 emails these days, right? At least I do. It feels like, the online communication is off the chart. And Instagram postings and all kinds of social media postings. You get something from Dr. Battle or from Dr. Plummer, you need to read that thing because it's going to tell you everything you need to know to be successful this year. I've been watching the chat. I see you have a bunch of classes. I see a bunch of people saying first time in online classes. So what we learned is in the spring is that sometimes there are hiccups, but basically things go pretty well. And what we know from this first week of classes is that things are going pretty well. So be patient, be flexible, but also be confident. You're going to get everything in your classes that you would have gotten in a face-to-face. and you're going to build online communities in ways that you can't fully imagine. So welcome aboard, and I'll hand back to Dr. Battle.
Thank you so much, Dean Potter. We appreciate those remarks and the welcome. We're going to next ask that our Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Laura Curran, come before you and give her welcome and introductions. And just as she comes, I want to just acknowledge the fact that she has been connected with the undergraduate program in our school, perhaps as long as anyone that I know. And that may even be in the history of our school. She's taught in the program for a number of years, and in her current position shows great interest in undergraduate students. So we welcome our Associate Dean of Academic Affairs, Dr. Laura Curran.
Hi, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. It's so great to see so many people today and so many future social workers. As Dean Potter already told us, you are desperately needed out there. This is a very challenging time, but it's also, as the Dean said, a really exciting time to be entering the profession. We really need you. And we need you to help lead us through and lead your generation through the crisis that we're experiencing right now. As the Dean acknowledged, the after effects of COVID are going to be with us for quite some time, and it's exposed all the cracks and fissures in our society, from inequality around income, racial justice issues, issues around health and mental health and aging and social isolation. These are all the issues that we already knew were out there, of course, but in the age of COVID, we see how pressing they actually are. And if there's one silver lining to this, it's that our society has also begun to recognize how important these issues are and they need to be addressed. And you all are going to be the ones who address them. So welcome to Rutgers School of Social Work, and welcome to the profession as well. The other thing I want to just say today is that we're so happy to have you here as our majors and our students in the School of Social Work. And I just want to remind everyone that even in this context, higher education, what's so exciting and important about it, one of the many things, is that it really gives you time, even though you often feel like you may not have it, but it really gives you time to reflect on the world around you, to make sense of the world around you, and to figure out your priorities, how you want to address the social problems that are out there. And we're here to help you do that. We're here to give you the tools to address some of those social problems you're concerned about. We're also here to also teach you how to build new tools as you go out into the world. It's really, while it should be a right, the reality is that right now higher education is a privilege. And take that time to reflect on the world. Even though you will feel overwhelmed at times with getting papers done, being in Zoom classes, and everything else you need to do, it's really a time for you to think and to grow intellectually and to grow emotionally and to grow socially, even in these Zoom contexts. So take that time, engage in your studies, and make good use of it. You'll be out of here sooner than you realize. And even though you're like, I want these classes to be over, before you know it, you'll be saying, I wish I was in school again. So take that time, use it wisely, and we are all here to support you and work with you. We know you will be successful, and we want you to be successful. So welcome aboard.
Thank you so much, Dr. Curran. This next person that's going to come is our Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, Dr. Antoinette Farmer. She is a powerhouse unto herself. Wherever I travel around the country, different conferences and whatnot, and they discover that I'm from Rutgers, invariably someone mentions Dean Farmer. And so we're just excited that she's able to be with us today. So I ask that Dean Farmer extend her greetings and remarks.
I want to thank you, Dr. Battle, for that lovely introduction. And my name is Dr. Antoinette Farmer. I am the Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the School of Social Work. At this time, in the history of Rutgers School of Social Work, the Associate Dean for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion position is being created to underscore the school's continued commitment to having diverse and inclusive educational and work environments that allow diversity to thrive in its various forms. The creation of this position goes beyond merely noting the importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion in our mission statement, but brings to the forefront of our collective consciousness how important it is for us to focus on diversity, equity, inclusion, and also intersectionality. In my position, I will be providing strategic leadership for the school to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion within the school and beyond the school. I also will be leading in developing the school's diversity, equity, and inclusion strategic plan. And I also will be chairing and facilitating the work of the school's inclusion, intersectionality, diversity, equity, and advancement committee. This committee will be comprised of faculty, staff, and students. This year, I have adopted as my motto, courage paves the pathway towards change. I'm going to say it again. Courage paves the pathway towards change. And I hope you too adopt this as your motto as we partner together to advance the work of diversity, equity, inclusion, and intersectionality within the school, within your field placements, within the communities in which you reside, and within the society at large. I know that you will have a fantastic semester. We have top-notch faculty who are going to be training you and teaching you. Top-notch field instructors, all concerned about you as an individual, as you as a student in a larger university, and you as a professional who will go out and have an impact on the world.
Thank you, Dean Farmer. Let me just put a plug in right here. During the summer months, Dean Potter, along with our associate deans and members of our faculty, we engaged in a series of faculty and student forums in response to the social justice issues that we've been facing, most of them around racial justice. And as a result of that, those forums, any number of you may have been on the forums, we had current students and those who have recently graduated, as well as our incoming students, to join us in the forums. It was decided that the students wanted to have a Black Lives Matter student organization. So along with Dr. Lena Nepomniachtchi, I will be serving as a co-faculty advisor for that group. You will hear information that will come out in the next few days or so. In fact, I think we've drafted an email that you'll be receiving. One of those emails that Dean Potter said, if Dr. Plummer, I send it to you, please take the time to read it. So you'll get information about that. It connects with Dr. Farmer's leadership and the work that she's providing. And we want this to be a student-led, student-run group. So you'll hear more about that. I see that there's a lot of activity in the chat group, so please keep the activity up. We'll be responding. If you have questions of various kinds, as well as other comments, feel free to do that. Now, I need to just say about Dr. Sarah Plummer, who is our Assistant Director for the Undergraduate Social Work Program, that we could not do this work without her. And so she's primarily, our office is in Camden. So all of our Camden students, I see you applauding out there already. Miguel is leading the charge, and others as well. she's just, she is like the Pied Piper. When you're in Camden, you see students just following her. She is so committed to her students and her work. And so I'm going to ask Dr. Plummer to speak at this time.
Hi, I am literally yelling at my husband to turn off the smoothie maker. So if you saw me yelling, that's the trials and tribulations of working from home. Yes, I wouldn't be surprised if my puppy came along and started to start nipping at me. So I am just so happy to be here and to see all of you. There are 11 pages, so I can't see everybody, but that's how many people we have. It looks like at least 260, but I see Cassandra and I see Desiree. Those are the first couple of people. I miss you all so much. And as you know, as I say, I'm smiling, I'm hugging you with my eyes. I miss you all very much. And just know that we are here to support you, and just because we're not physically in the room with you does not mean that we are not here for you. And so feel free, this is our job, this is our responsibility to reach out if you have any questions about anything in regards to classes or the program. I cannot wait to see all of you in person, but if anybody wants to set up a time, a meeting, advising, I have a Zoom, or we can do it by phone. But I just want you to know that I am here for you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Plummer. In addition to those who have spoken, we have a number of our faculty members who are with us, and we just want to say thank you to those persons who teach in our undergraduate program and who are with us in this orientation. We also want to thank those faculty members who are allowing you, their students, to be in this orientation and attend your classes, your synchronous remote classes a little bit later. So thank you for making that special effort. We have already met, heard from Zach. In addition to Zach, we have others who have been working with us. You'll meet Dory and Bijo, if you've not already met them, as our administrative leads in the undergraduate program, but also just working her magic behind the scenes is Madison, who helps to create content for us in a way that is really, really beautiful. So just want to give a special thank you to each of them. So Dr. Plummer and I are going to do the overview of our program, and we're going to, I believe, Visual is going to screen share the PowerPoint we have for the overview. We're going to do it fairly quickly. Most of you should know this information, but we want to make sure that you hear it on today, and we'll make sure that it's available beyond today. So introductions have already taken place by said persons. Our theme for the day is social workers make a difference. And we want you to, it's been echoed in the comments that have been offered, but we want you just to remember that that's what we do. We make a difference, a really good difference, okay? So this is the curriculum, but I do this because I get emails constantly. I've been responding to emails late last night, early this morning about the classes that you're required to take. And so we're just going to present for you the course sequencing for our juniors and seniors. If you are junior, you should be in the classes on the left, Intro to Social Work. Some of you transferred in with that. If you did not, you need to be in that class. It's being taught now, and both Dr. Plum and I are teaching it, and we would certainly welcome you into our classes. We also have those are the synchronous remote classes. We also have fully online versions of that course, and I'm sure some of you are already registered. We use acronyms, SWAPs for SWAPs 1, go back, Bijo. SWAPs 1 is Social Welfare Policy and Services, and then Human Behavior in the Social Environment we call HUBSI. That's required in the fall semester. We have electives that are taught, and the electives are social work electives. They're recommended, strongly recommended. not required, but you have to take classes beyond your required classes in order to meet the magic number of 120 credits to graduate. So we have available these electives: Understanding Violence, Global Health, Intro to Human Sexuality, and Groups at Risk. So if you are in need of a class and one of these electives is still open, you're welcome to join for that. Juniors, for the spring semester, you have required classes: SWAPS 2, HUBSI 2, the second part of the two classes you are enrolled in currently. You also are required to take the Professional Development Seminar and then the Research Methods course. And so that's what there's no mystery about what you'll be taking next semester. Those 4 classes are required. We have the Childhood Inequalities elective, and some of our other electives that are mentioned in the fall are also repeated in the spring. And so that's available to juniors and to seniors. Okay. If you are a graduate social work student, you should be in the Diversity and Oppression course, as well as our Journalist Practice 1 class and Field Practicum 1. If you are a senior, please hear me, and you are not in these classes, in particular your Practice 1 and Field Practicum 1 classes, they are co-requisites, so they hang together. You need to be in those classes. And we also have the Child Welfare Services and Practices course. It's an elective required for those who are going into child welfare, but it's open to all of our social work students. And that is available to primarily for seniors, but it's also available if juniors want to take it. In the spring semester, you'll have the Integration Seminar, Generalist Practice 2, Field Practicum 2, and again, the Child Welfare class. The important thing to remember is what I already said: 120 credits needed to graduate. It's not that complicated. You typically come in with 60. You need 15 credits each semester, fall and spring of the junior, senior years. If you fall short when you come in or in any of those semesters, you have to have an academic plan to make those classes up in the summer or winter semesters. Okay. So the advising that happens for our students, Dr. Plummer is the primary advisor for all social work content on the Camden and Mays Landing campuses, and I offer that for our New Brunswick students. And if you need something from either one of us and we're not available, we work together as a team. Also for your core requirements or gen ed requirements, the deans that work most closely with us are Dean Gary Panetta in New Brunswick. So if you have a SAS issue, you can easily look up Dean Panetta. Some of you have already been in touch with him. And the same is true in Camden. Dean Megan Burns is the person to reach out to. If you need an appointment, we're offering Zoom appointments, phone appointments, whatever works best for you. You simply need to email and make the request for an appointment. Okay. Let's see here. I think, did I do it all? I did. Okay, excellent. Dr. Plummer, did you want to add anything to that?
No, I was answering some questions in the chat box, but I wanted just to remind everybody that we will have advising right after this. So if you have any specific questions, we'll be happy to answer. So no, not at this time.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so we are moving right along to be on schedule. We have with us Dr. Rebecca Davis, who is affectionately known as Boot Camp Becky, because if you go with her on one of our study abroad experiences, you will, if you think you're in shape, you'll have trouble keeping up with her. She's a great friend and colleague, and we're excited that she'll talk with us about our, and she's a director of our Office of Global Social Work Programs and Associate Professor of Professional Practice, and she's going to talk to us about study abroad. Dr. Davis.
It's kind of an odd time to be talking about study abroad, but we're going to talk about it and hope for the best. But I just wanted to build on some of the comments that Dr. Farmers made about your impact on the world, and Dr. Curran talked about reflecting on the world. And so I just want to talk about some opportunities, what we hope we will have, but then some plans that we're thinking about. So for study abroad, and I'm gonna post the link. There's a study abroad fair on September 29th. It's virtual. And so you can join into that, and we'll be having individual Zoom meetings with students about those. So under normal conditions, we have 5 programs. The winter programs are India and Mexico. But we're quite sure at this point, we will not have winter programs for 2021. So if any of you are around for 2022, we're hoping that will be a possibility. Of course, at this time, our summer programs, we have 3, Romania and Israel. And I know I saw Nancy Schley, if she wanted to make any comments, because Nancy directs the Israel program and I direct the Romania program. And these are field placements. These are, you're registered for your field and you're in country for a month in the summer. It's quite intense. You have lots of preparation and follow up when you get back. So there's work in country and before you go and after you return. And so you're working face-to-face with clients in both of these settings. In Israel, you're working with Ethiopian immigrants in a community. It's all in a community setting. And then we have China, which is an elective, a 2-week elective, and then you can stay for 2 weeks to do a volunteer experience and get up to 2 weeks of field placement credit. So those for the study abroad fair, you can learn more about those, and we're hoping, again, we don't know at this point, but we're hoping these will go. Also, just to say that there are a lot of other opportunities and things will be opening up more and more because of COVID. I was just on a webinar this morning with people from all over the globe that focused on how the social service workforce and child protection workforce have adjusted, has adjusted to COVID-19 across the globe. So it is a global issue. Social work schools everywhere are dealing with the very same thing. We have Social Work Day at the UN in March. And this is especially for students. It's usually held at the UN right now, even though the UN is closed for visitors. There are lots of activities going on. I'm planning right now for International Day of the Girl, which is on October 9th. It will all be virtual. So we'll be getting you information so you can participate in these. One of your colleagues, Liza Gonzalez, is working with me in her field placement. So we will be coming up with some creative ideas and ways to keep everyone engaged on a global scale. So I think that's it. Stay tuned.
Very good. Thank you so much, Dr. Davis. Several years ago, Dr. Davis, Dr. Patricia Finley, another social work colleague and myself, we worked together to try to internationalize the social work curriculum for undergraduate students. So her impact on helping us to have a global perspective is widely dispersed throughout our curriculum. So we're grateful for her. The next group of persons that will come and speak with us represent our field education office, a great team of colleagues. Professor Mark Lamar is the Executive Director of Field Education and an Associate Professor of Professional Practice. Nancy Schley and Bernardo Geraldo are respectively Associate Directors of Field Education in New Brunswick and Camden. And all three of them are among the nicest people you could ever meet and among my favorite colleagues.
Should we jump in here, Dr. Battle? All right, I'm just going to jump in first and shortest. I'm going to say thank you for that wonderful introduction, and I'll get out of the way and let Nancy and Bernardo speak. But we're so happy to be here and excited for you to join us in field education. We love it. We think you will too, and we look forward to partnering with you. It's a wonderful part of your education, and it gives you a good look at the profession in the future. So thanks for being here, and thanks for thinking social work is a good idea. And I'll ask Professor Schley or Geraldo to speak up next, who would ever like to go.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and go. I'm excited to be part of this. It's great to see many of you. You know, Jerry and I, Jerry is the senior coordinator. Many of you know her as well. She's been part of our team for the past year. It's been some unusual times to try to, work through all the things that we've all been going through. And we know that many agencies out there are going through many challenges and issues and still trying to do the work that we do best to try to service the populations that we're working to help. So I'm excited, I think, in many ways that we are going to go out there and do the best we can to be the best support to the community. And hopefully at the end of this, we can, come together and say, this is amazing work. Through this development, I think, you guys are going to learn a lot in these present times. You guys are going to go into your classrooms. It's not the in-person, which I love and been a part of. This is a whole new thing for me, but I'm also excited about this part of engaging you guys in a different kind of way, and hopefully it's just as meaningful, and at least that's my intent. But the idea is that you guys are going to be going into these professions. You're going to be learning about social work. You're going to be being mentored and guided by very experienced professionals that have been doing this for many, many years. And my hope is that you go out there and speak to these field instructors, speak to staff, learn as much as you can, not only in the field education, which is what you're going to be putting into practice, all the great things that you're learning from your professors in your individual classes. You're going to be putting things into practice. You're going to be going in there and seeing how these things work. We have these theories and, about social work practice, and, application is a little different. So you guys are going to be having the opportunity to be able to do that. You're not alone. You're going to have the guidance and support of great people around you to help you build up your skill sets. That is my hope, that you come out of this feeling a little bit more confident than you did in the beginning. So, just, to mention that, if you are having some particular issues about starting field, please make sure that you reach out to us and you let me know what's going on. Jerry Meadowbrook and myself, you can contact me. Most of you have my contact information. And Nancy Schley is in the New Brunswick office, and I can let her speak a little bit about her in her area. But I'm excited, and I want to welcome you all, and I can't wait to work with you guys during this academic year.
Great, thank you, Bernardo and Mark. It's my great pleasure to be here. I'm the Associate Director of Field Education in New Brunswick, so I have talked with many of you. This is an exciting time in your training. You are embarking on a professional journey to develop skills, serve and enhance others, the lives of others, follow a strict code of ethics, develop a professional identity, work hard, take initiative, work side by side on interprofessional teams, and build your professional network. So it's an exciting time. As generalists, you will learn about the profession of social work, direct practice with clients, management and policy, advocacy, and professional skills that transfer across settings. It is a rigorous program, so get organized, stay connected, and immerse yourself in your field setting. Each student has a team of professionals for support. You have your field instructor at the agency. You may also have a task supervisor. You have a field liaison. You have faculty in the field office, including myself. And we believe in you and we believe in your success. So have a great year and all my best to each of you.
Thank you so much to our wonderful team leaders for field. I can just say on a personal note that our field team will work day and night and to make sure that you have the best field learning experience possible. So please engage your field education. Those of you who are in field now, and just do an amazing job. Make us look really good, make us proud. And for those of you who are juniors, you have to make sure that you pay attention to the communications that will come your way so that we can get you situated in field. So thank you so much to our team leaders for field. We are right on time. And I want to introduce our Assistant Dean of Admissions and Recruitment, Laura DiMarcantonio, has done a fantastic job. She's the person that, if you're both of our juniors and seniors that helped to get you into the major. And she has been able to bring in a new class of juniors during this pandemic, a strong group of students. So we're excited about her team. She has her admissions and recruitment team, along with Assistant Dean DiMarcantonio. We have our assistant directors, Christine Morales and Lawrence Lester. So we'll hand it over to our Assistant Dean DiMarcantonio.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here. I'm usually so excited to get to see faces, but it's wonderful to see a lot of names that I recognize, and a few of the faces that I know I got to see your applications. We've corresponded. I know many of you have talked to Larry over the last few months, so welcome. I know for some of you that are juniors, it might seem a little bit strange that we're going to be talking about a master's degree as you're just starting to get your feet wet in the BASW, but we do like to start talking about the MSW early because, as a lot of people have said, this next year is going to go very, very quickly. And before you know it, you'll be applying and hopefully being admitted, and then within days of graduation, literally jumping into the MSW. So, but don't worry, you're going to have plenty of opportunity to learn more about the master's degree and the application process over the coming year. So if you're starting to get a little fatigued at this point, that's okay. We'll still be here for you. And for those of you who are seniors, you're on a little tighter schedule for applying, but again, not to worry. We are going to be hosting a number of virtual information sessions and open houses this fall. So we do hope you'll check those out on our website, which is mswevents.rutgers.edu. So today I just kind of wanted to note a few things, a few of the key reasons that I think whether you're a junior or a senior, you should really consider getting your MSW at Rutgers University. For one, as a BASW graduate, you are uniquely qualified as an advanced standing student. You will be completing your MSW in just 1 year and taking 39 credits as opposed to the full 60 credit program. So that's a big benefit of successfully completing the program that you're in right now. You'll also be able to use the foundation that you're earning in your BASW to focus on a specialization in either clinical practice or management and policy. So going deeper into more of the micro level practice, counseling, developing interventions, or focusing more on a more macro level, developing policy and procedures. In addition, MSW students at Rutgers can embed one of our certificate programs as part of your MSW. So embedded meaning no additional courses with the exception of our ACT program or certificate, But these are really embedded in your MSW program and allow you to specialize your education. So you can focus on addiction counselor training, violence against women and children, our child and adolescent well-being certificate. We also have an aging and health certificate, and our newest certificate, LISTA, which is for Latino Initiatives for Service Training and Assessment. And beyond the certificate programs, Rutgers MSW offers the ability to tailor your education through an area of emphasis. You could take advantage of one of the global programs you just heard Becky talk about. And there is the opportunity, again, unique, to take MSW elective courses at one of Rutgers' many Rutgers University graduate schools. So you might even have a very special interest and take courses through the School of Applied Psychology or over in our medical schools. You have that opportunity as an MSW student. And last but not least, I of course have to mention one of the things that really sets Rutgers apart, and I think that's the caliber of our faculty. The programs and research here impact nationally, globally, and as a student, you really have an incredible opportunity to be a part of that, not only through your courses and through networking with alumni and faculty, but through graduate assistantships and being a part of the program here. So hopefully that's given you a few of the highlights of our program. There's many, many more. So as I said, I hope that you will join us in one of our open houses or information sessions. Of course, they'll all be virtual this fall, but hopefully if you're a junior and looking a little farther out, we'll see you in the spring and next fall as well. So the best way to reach out to us in admissions is admissions@ssw.rutgers.edu. We encourage you to reach out to us whenever you have questions. It's never too early to start talking about this. What you're doing in your BASW right now is going to be very impactful in terms of the application process for the MSW programs. Make sure that you're networking and developing relationships with your field supervisors, your faculty. They're going to be very important to you as valued individuals who can write you a very good letter of recommendation. So I encourage you to foster those relationships now early. I think that's about everything. So best wishes to all of you and good luck over this next year. Take care.
Thank you so very much for all that wonderful information. So we are moving towards the end of the first hour of our orientation. And for those of you that are keeping time, we are just, we're right on time actually, just a minute over. And, but one of the most important parts of this orientation is for you as students to have an opportunity to meet the leaders of our undergraduate social work organizations. And we have USWO, as we refer to these organizations, USWO organizations in Camden and in New Brunswick. We have leaders of these organizations. And so we're going to ask for our USWO leaders to speak. And we have Camden up first. So all of our USWO leaders for Camden, would you unmute? And for those of you that are planning to speak, share what you have to say. So we're having trouble hearing you. Any way you can talk up louder? Okay, is there, that didn't work. Is there anyone else from USWO Camden?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Yeah.
My name's Alyssa Perry. I am the communications officer for USWO Camden. So we just wanted to introduce ourselves and let you know that our mission is to acknowledge the struggles and challenges that students face by increasing awareness about diversity, equality, and empowerment through educational and social programs, community services, and advocacy opportunities. So us as USWO, we are going to be putting on 3 events this fall. Our first event is really going to be a virtual paint and sit, where we're all going to meet on Zoom and we're going to paint how we think society views views us. And then we're going to have a conversation about it. As USWO, we really want to give people a safe haven to talk about all the kind of sort of uncomfortable things that are going on in the world right now. So we're also going to do either a Netflix or election watch party. And then we're going to do a Jeopardy style game where we talk about like the facts and statistics of the LGBTQ community. So our first general body meeting is going to be September 21st during free period. So we're hoping to see everyone hopefully there because we are almost all seniors besides our treasurer. So we want to get people involved so that we can hand USWO down when we graduate. We are also currently in the virtual involvement fair. So we have a live Zoom going that goes from 12 to 2 and then 4 to 6 today. So if you have any questions regarding USWO or how to get involved, because we really do want to hear from the social work community and the Rutgers-Camden community, what they want to see us do.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa. Dr. Plummer is the faculty advisor for USWO Camden. So any assistance that you need, she will make sure that you get it, announcements going out to students and so forth and so on. So thank you. We will now have our USWO New Brunswick President, Sarah Platt, and others to share.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Platt. I'm the president here at USWO New Brunswick. I'm very excited for this upcoming semester. If anybody knows, we have been growing tremendously this semester. We went from 24 general members to 67 members, and on our first kind of meet and greet meeting, we had 18 people join us, which is very exciting for us. This semester, we're pretty much just focusing on keeping us connected. We're going through a lot of stress, and as social workers, we need people to reach out to and talk to. So we're here, we're open, we are ready to get the ball rolling and get people connected and be able to be supportive. We do have a meeting tonight, just kind of another general meeting just to get to know each other and to kind of discuss what our plans are. We do have ideas for like a Netflix party, or we're hoping to get some funding to get Jackbox so we can be able to play some games and be able to discuss certain social work intentions. I did get an email from a hospice organization wanting to connect with us and be able to do a presentation and ask if any students would be interested in volunteer work or internships there. So as just kind of a blank statement, we are already skyrocketing and we have a lot of amazing opportunities, and I'm very excited for this semester.
Thank you very much, Sarah. And for both of our USWO groups, one of the primary ways to help to encourage student engagement and you have a place to be connected for peer support, it's through our undergraduate social work organizations. So the work that you are doing is very much appreciated. Okay, so we are going to again acknowledge our team, Dori Sebek and Bijo Jobinputra. Dori and Bijo, would you just unmute yourselves and just say hello to all of our students?
Hi, I'm Dori. I'm in the New Brunswick campus, Dr. Battle. So if you have any questions or need to reach in, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I hope you all have a great semester.
Hi, I'm Bijal Jobinputra. Welcome, everybody. And I'm the administrative assistant for Camden. So if you guys need anything, go Camden, and I'll be here to help you with anything you need assistance with.
Thank you. Bijal is operating the PowerPoint, and Dori is in the chat. So everybody's working, all hands are working here together. We couldn't do this without, as many have already mentioned, the amazing faculty that we have at the Rutgers School of Social Work. And so we just want you to also meet our faculty that's a part of our professional faculty that are in the field of social work. and that also work in the classroom. This is how I began my teaching at Rutgers, and how wonderful faculty are teaching for us as well. So we have a PowerPoint just to share with you about those faculty members. And some of them are your instructors for this semester. All of them are highly respected, and I'm glad to call them colleagues and friends. So we're going to give you now a break. About, I think it's a, what is it, a 2-minute break? I can't remember. It's not a generous break, but we're going to for those who've been speaking and sharing with us, our administrative leadership and faculty members, they are free to sign off. But we want all of our students who are interested in having general advising. Dr. Plummer and I are going to be back in 2 minutes to do that. What we're doing, just so you know, if you're in a synchronous remote class, you have a 90-minute class at the time that you are normally scheduled to meet. If your class was to be an in-person class, you have to meet with your professor and your classmates in Zoom for 90 minutes, and then you have 50 minutes of remote work that you do asynchronously or alone. And so Dr. Plummer and I, we are practicing a full 90 minutes today with our orientation. So we've had the first hour, brief break, and we'll be on again for the 30 minutes. And then we have to leave that because we also have our first faculty meeting of the fall semester, and we are going to have to go to that meeting. So stick around. We'll take about a 2-3 minute break. Thank you. Wow, that was a great break. Hope you enjoyed your break. I should have put music on. I thought we were going to have music. I have my music selected and everything. Okay, so let's see, Bijul, I guess we can, yes, thank you. Take that down so we can see and hear. So we only lost two-thirds of our people. That's not bad. All of the A students stayed. That's all I know. Someone take an attendance of this group of students. So what we're going to do is kind of open this up. Now, there may be, I don't know, Dory, if you saw anything in the chat that students were asking that we can respond to. It's an open conversation for you to ask Dr. Plummer and myself anything that you may need with respect to your classes, etc.
I do notice that a couple of people said that their classes were full and that they were concerned about this. And I had stated that if the class is full, you need to reach out to us if it's one of the required courses, because you have to take it. We did limit the amount of sections. The administration did limit the amount of sections. So that's important to make sure that you're taking all of the classes that were listed, depending upon whether or not you were a junior or a senior.
Exactly. So if a class is full, as Dr. Plummer said, not taking the class is not an option. You have to be in your classes, and we have to do all that we can to make sure that you get what you need. In fact, we guarantee that you will be able to be in a required class. We are not able to guarantee the exact section if it's full, but we'll do our best to move mountains and walk on water for you. So thank you, Dr. Plummer, for saying that.
There was also, somebody had said that they came from Raritan Valley with Intro to Social Work, and it didn't come over as Intro to Social Work. So I suggested that depending on who, what campus they were on, they needed to reach out to one of us.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I know Dory and I have a number of students whose transcripts came in, and your social work, Intro to Social Work class did not come in as a equivalent credit, but it's something that we can help you take care of in Degree Navigator. We're going to be working on some of that, so feel free to email either Dory or Bijul with those requests, and we'll make sure you get what you need.
The other question is, Just for clarification, we are not expecting people to do the volunteer experience during Intro to Social Work this semester.
So the volunteer experience is done virtually for this semester. So you want to make sure that let me just make sure we have that in what's in the course. So we'll go on to another question while I pull that up. Is there another question, Dr. Plummer?
Just to confirm for any seniors, the field starts on the 8th. It does not start this week.
And if anyone has a problem with field, they should be, again, in touch with Nancy Schley or Bernardo Hirado on the respective campuses.
Somebody said that they took a class, a sociology class, but it didn't transfer over.
Hello?
Yes. Yes,
Right,
sir.
so, I'm sorry. I was just going to respond to that. If one of your prerequisites did not transfer over, and I'm glad that that question was raised because I didn't really address the prereqs. There are 6 prereqs that you have to have coming in. Most of you already know this, but the sociology and psychology classes sometimes don't come into Rutgers as equivalents. If they're on your Rutgers transcript, even if it's not an equivalent, we can help to get you credit for that to meet the prerequisite. And then you need your statistics and your human biology classes. And Dr. Plum and I are willing to allow you to get credit for the biology that you took if you transferred it in elsewhere. And the stats courses, there are a range of stat courses that we allow, not just from the math department, but from other departments as well. And we can send you a curriculum at a glance or advise you on that if you need that course. Then you only need 2 other liberal arts prerequisites. So with respect to the sociology classes someone mentioned, if it's on your Rutgers transcript, we can still help you, even if it didn't come in as an equivalent for introduction to sociology.
And actually, can I say something about field?
Yes, please.
Field actually starts this week. So it started on Monday. Yeah, it's a little different this year.
Oh,
and
I was told it was started on the 8th. I apologize.
No, that's okay. No, I know every year, other year, we usually start a week after classes, but this year we're starting the week of. And somebody had a question about learning contracts. They're due September 25th. Everybody should have received their field calendar. So all the dates, important dates, are on that in regards to field. If you didn't get one, email me.
Thank you. Thank you, Bijal, for correcting me. I apologize.
Yeah.
So Dr. Battle, would you be able to share a little bit about the advanced standing program? Students are just curious about what that means.
Okay, sure. Since I can't seem to find what I need in the intro course that I'm teaching, Dr. Palmer, it's your turn to look for what we decided for the volunteer placement. But the advanced standing is otherwise referred to by students as the 2+2 or the 3+1 program, and it's the 2+1 program that students refer to. If you transfer in, you do 2 semesters as an undergraduate and 1 as a graduate student. All advanced standing means is this: while you're an undergraduate student, you complete the first year of the graduate program. That's what it means. In your 2 years as an undergraduate, you are taking the exact same classes as first-year master's students. And I didn't say this earlier, so I should say it now. The faculty at our school teach across campuses. That means that Dr. Plummer can teach in New Brunswick, I can teach in Camden. We teach across programs, meaning that we also teach in programs other than undergraduate social work, the faculty that teach you, our PTLs that we just showcased, and other faculty. teach in the graduate and undergraduate programs in Mays Landing, Camden, New Brunswick, Newark for the graduate classes. We also teach, you know, a wide range of the electives that are available to our students. But the important thing for advanced standing is that the 2 years that you are spending as an undergraduate student, you're taking the classes that are required for the first year master's students. When you, if you complete our program well, Dean DiMarcantonio was saying to us, if you do a good job at Rutgers as an undergraduate student, then you can apply for advanced standing. Your undergraduate degree at Rutgers allows you to apply for advanced standing at any graduate school of social work that is CSWE accredited, which is the Council on Social Work Education. And that's pretty much every school of social work in the country. So it's a great opportunity for students to do well as undergraduates and get an advanced standing for your graduate program. You complete your graduate program in 1 calendar year, typically starting a couple of weeks after you finish your undergraduate program, and then being completed by May of the following year. I hope that answered the question, but if there are other questions about that, feel free to ask them in the chat box or to raise your hand. I'm sure you are Zoom aficionados. You know how to work Zoom better than we do. So you can, Gina, were you raising your hand? Okay, you were doing it old school. I saw your hand just go up.
No, I'm basically getting all the questions I need answered to
Okay,
other people.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
I can see your hand up, but there's a raise your hand feature. You're gonna just unmute yourself. That's okay. You can unmute yourself.
So sorry, I
That's
didn't
okay.
realize. I just wanted to contact because I just got an email for my intro to social work and services class that's online, so it's asynchronous. So there's no specific class meeting. But he was sending an email talking about how we must volunteer, must be 40 hours. I wasn't completely sure or aware of that, but does this have to be in person or virtually?
Right, let me answer. Dr. Plummer, did you find the answer to that yet?
Well, no, I mean, I remember. So we
No.
just said,
Okay.
rather than actually doing volunteer hours, students were to look for an agency and use that time to follow them on social media and check out their website to learn more about how they address their clients and what's going on in the world right now. We recognize how challenging it would be to try and get a volunteer experience, so we didn't want to put anybody through that. Sabrina, can you tell me the name of the professor?
Sabrina, just put that in the chat if you don't mind, and then
we'll reach out.
Yeah, we'll reach out.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm sorry, I was so stressed because I have so many people with stuff in my house that I haven't really been able to leave the house.
We don't want you, to be clear, we don't want you to be put in the position of going to an agency. It's a virtual volunteer placement where you're able to, there's some agencies that will allow you to assist them in a virtual format. And there are some where food pantries and things like that are still serving, but we don't want you to be put in that position. This is the reality of COVID-19. So protect yourselves, practice social distancing, and learn about social work agencies in a virtual format. Good question. Thank you for raising that. Okay. Any other questions? Dory, do you see anything in the chat? You're our chat person.
Cassandra has a question.
Yeah, I'm a double major. I'm supposed to be graduating this year. And I already have 18 credits, but I think I need 3 more. Is there any way I could get, like, what do I have to do to get them to allow me to take another class?
So typically you cannot take more than 20.5 credits. And the exception is made only after the first day of class. So there has to be a request for an overload, and you have to do that through the academic dean on your particular campus, and they will then be in touch with Dr. Plummer or myself. This is for all of our students, if you need to take more than 20.5 credits. And I don't know if that's changing because of, virtual and remote learning, but yeah, I'm glad you raised that. If you're not on track with credits, you have to have an academic plan as to how you're going to get that done.
Because my social work stuff is satisfied.
Right. But it's all of your students that have to be satisfied.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cassandra, I would reach out to Dean Megan Burns. Yeah,
All right,
and
thank
because
you.
we need to get extra permission for an extra class.
Yeah.
So can I just ask you, when you finish this semester, if you are allowed to take the 21 credits, will you have 105 credits at the end of the semester or less?
I believe I'll have more.
But it's the
because
classes
I
that you
can't.
need. But it's the specific classes that you need, so it's not just the credits?
Yeah, it's for gender studies. And when I started last year, I wasn't able to take any of those classes. So this year I'm trying to take all of them now.
Yeah, so the other thing you might consider, if it's not for core requirements, is that you might want to check with the gender studies department and see if they will allow one or two of your social work classes to work for that major as well, if that's not.
Okay.
That might be.
All right, thank you very much.
Cool.
So Corey has a question.
Yes, Dr. Plummer or Dr. Battle. How you doing? One question I had was for the field placement. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So for the field placement, I wanted to, and I was going to ask our liaison this, but since we're on here, I just figured I'd ask. I wanted to know, does training or orientation and other Zoom meetings we're having before we do actual like field placement work, would that be considered like, will we be able to log that as hours, or is that just kind of like it comes with the territory?
That's a smart question, Corey. So yeah, I like it. Listen, folks, the ones who got off early, they're going to miss this gem of knowledge here. You should feel free to ask your field supervisor for credit for things that you're doing. And in many cases, they will allow it for required events like this orientation. In the past, students have been able to leverage it for some of their field hours. And so everything's negotiable. So that's a very, very good question. Individually, reach out to your field supervisor. And if you have any, hit any roadblocks, you can reach out to Bernardo or Nancy on your Camden or New Brunswick campuses, Camden being Camden and Mace Landing, and they will help you. Good question.
Okay. Is there a cap on questions?
No, no, you've not hit the cap yet, if there was one.
Okay.
Number 5, what's your 5th question?
Oh no, I don't have 5. So my next one was, I know we're supposed to do like 15 hours a week, and I know there's like some wiggle room. If like something comes up, you may have to do more or less than a given week. But I think last week we got credit for like 2 hours and stuff like that. How does that normally work? Do we say, okay, you met your requirements for the month, or like do you I'm a little confused about that.
The total field hours at the end of the semester. You have to the field hours are identified as whatever it is, 15 a week. But if you do more, then it's going to bank towards the total hours. And if you do less, you've got to make them up. But you're right. It's if you do a little bit more, you work with your field supervisor to make sure you're keeping tally of your hours, and you've got to report your hours as well. So you just keep a running tab, make sure you're doing that.
Okay. And my final question, I promise. So I just wanted to know, if this time is appropriate, or should I like individually talk to Dr. Plummer, or I forgot the lady's name that was on earlier. That was kind of gave a presentation on advanced standing in the MSW program. Is, to be honest, is something that I don't know if I really ever considered. I kind of was talking myself out of it, but now I am a little interested. But I did want to kind of voice some of my concerns, and then you guys' expertise will be able to, I guess, like point me in the right direction on if it's for me or how I should go about it. So I didn't know if this was the right platform for that, or if I should reach out to somebody else after this.
Okay, yes, so you can certainly reach out to Dr. Plummer directly and or Assistant Dean Mark Antonio for a question on advanced standing. My personal response to all of you is that I expect all of you to move forward and get your MSW degrees. That's the degree that qualifies you to be a professional social worker. And so you want to get your MSW degree, and advanced standing is a great opportunity. Very few programs you can get a master's in 1 year. And again, it's because you're already, Corey, you would have done half of the degree by the time you finish, next May. So I strongly recommend it, but you can talk directly with Dr. Plummer and Assistant Dean DeMarco Antonio for any specifics.
Okay. One more thing. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
But, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
If something else comes up, just let us know. All right.
Okay.
Any other questions? What's out there?
Dr. Battle, there's been several people who would like to know if this time can be used towards their field hours.
So that's the question we just answered for Corey. It's something you should talk to your field supervisor with directly. If you want to, you can tell them Dr. Plummer said that you could. See, she gets my jokes. You people don't get my jokes, but you will. Yes, I would just simply say self-advocate. You're spending, this time with us. It's very important information. I consider what we're talking about to be equally as important as some of the other things that you might be asked to do. So, self-advocate.
Hello? Yeah, Miss Alicia again.
Yeah, can you mute yourself? We're in your phone conversation.
Somebody wants to know, we have a couple more minutes left. Somebody would like to know if it's recommended for social work majors to have a minor or double major.
So social work is what's known as a credit intensive major. If you're not a social work major, most other students are required to have a minor. You are not required to have a minor, and you're not encouraged to have a double major. I used to require or encourage students to do a minor, but since we have increased, Dr. Plummer and I have been working really hard to increase the social work electives that you can take. I encourage you to take your required social work curriculum, any core or gen ed requirements you have, and then social work electives. That's my recommendation. Once you get your undergraduate degree, having a double major is usually something of personal preference, but it's very difficult to do. So I discourage you from trying to do that. I've had students to stay a 5th year to get a second undergraduate major when they could have had a graduate degree. And higher education is, the cost of higher education is too high to spend time in extra years if you don't have to. And in terms of minors, again, I recommend social work electives, but there are a couple of minors that fit nicely into the social work curriculum. If you have to do additional classes beyond 120, I typically don't encourage it for academic and economic reasons. We're looking good. We got 5 minutes. I see, Miguel, is your hand up?
A couple of students have hands up.
I see, Miguel's your hand up? You can unmute yourself. There you
Can
go.
you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. First of all, thank you very much for being here for us. We really appreciate it. Ms. Plummer and you, Dr. Battle. I got a couple questions. First of all, maybe you guys can't provide this information. Maybe I gotta talk to my instructors, but I want to know if all the classes are gonna be like this, like with Zoom meetings.
Yes. So the classes is, we're going to be teaching. If it's a synchronous remote, it will be in Zoom with a Canvas course shell. But your time that you meet will be. Thank you. That Miguel, great question.
Thank
will
you.
be like this. I'm teaching one tomorrow, so I got to figure out, you know, all the ins and outs of it. But we will be meeting on Zoom for those classes.
So we're gonna be getting notices when the meetings are gonna be taking place.
Well, so what happens is this: your class will, whatever time your class was supposed to meet, that's what time it's going to meet, and it's going to meet for 90 minutes. All you have to do is to go into your Canvas course shell, and there's a Zoom link already in the Canvas course shell to help you gain access to your classes.
Okay. And my second question is,
your third question. No.
It's only the second question. And are like the material that we gotta get, the books or the readings, are gonna be provided online, or we actually gotta go and get the books?
Okay, so it depends on what class it is. The classes that Dr. Plum and I often teach are what we refer to as open textbook classes. But I am teaching like the diversity and impression class. There's one textbook that's required, so you have to get that that textbook. You can order them obviously online. Any number of the books have e-read components to them or whatnot, but I encourage you to build up your library for some of the coursework, but make good decisions. You can get the textbooks now. Students know how to get textbooks cheaper than Dr. Plummer and I. So do what you need to do to get the required readings, but you still have to have your, if your syllabus says it's going to use, like in the diversity and impression class, we use the privileged textbook. You have to have the privileged textbook, but we also have included all of the other readings embedded in the course. So
thank you very much.
Miguel, you were the first person I saw when this orientation was supposed to start today. You got in really early. I think we were in about 30 minutes early, and I really appreciate your being here.
Thank you. It is because I'm a little scared because it's my first semester as a BA in social work, so I'm a little scared and overwhelmed, but I'm gonna try my best. And thank you very much for being here for us, guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So can we have one last question?
I see, Alim, is your hand up?
Alan, go for it, man.
You got to unmute yourself. It's the button that makes you talk.
He knows how to do it. He was unmuted earlier.
Dr. Battle, you can select the option to unmute him. So like it will show up on his screen. If you click on his participant name, you can unmute him yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hear me now?
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say hi to everyone, especially you, Dr. Plummer, and you, Professor. My question was just hit to you, Doctor. Is there any way that I can meet with you, or I have to email you? I'm still working this thing out, man.
So we can do a Zoom like this. If you send me an email, we can set up a Zoom like this and we can talk. I can't physically go to see you, but I can definitely, if you don't want to do a phone call, we can do this.
I can call you then?
Yeah.
I'll call you. Okay then. Cause I got on work late today and I got to the meeting a little late. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't able to get here on time. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything, you know, important. It's all important, but extremely important.
Can I just say, I'm glad you asked that. And you mentioned that when this conversation is over in the next few minutes, we will have a recording of this orientation. It has to be done by our IT communication staff. So if there's something you think you may have missed, you can reach out to Bijol or Dory. And if you know someone else who missed this, you can ask them to reach out to us. This is important, so we want to make sure you have the information.
Okay, then. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, how are we doing? We're right at 1:30. Is there another pressing question? Sabrina, that hand is going up. Do I need to unmute you?
Hi. Oh, I got it. Yeah, well, I was just asking, okay, I was just asking about my SAS core, because right now it's still in limbo because I sent my updated transcript. They're supposed to waive it soon. But in the event that it doesn't get waived, will I have to stop taking the social work classes and then just go work on my SAS core, or could I do it in whatever order I want?
Right. So good question. This is for all of you. Once you start the social work classes, you never stop the social work classes. All you do is just keep getting A's and making Dr. Plummer and I proud. That's what you do for social work. With respect to your other requirements, you can, I can help you, like looking, you have to get SES or CAS to get your stuff on your transcript and hopefully give you credit. But if you're still missing some core requirements, even though that's something you should deal with Dean Panetta, but I can help you create an academic plan so that you know that you can graduate on time. We're good at doing that. So feel free to reach out to Dory. We'll get on regular office hours so we can meet in Zoom and help you out.
Okay, thank you so much.
Gina. Hey, Gina. Okay.
Hello, just one question. Since you are in the program, are you a teacher, or are you going to be one of my teachers before I graduate with my bachelor's?
No, who
are
is
you
that
a
for?
teacher?
Is that for Dr. Plummer?
No, that's for Dr. Battle. For you.
Yeah, he aspires to be a teacher. Someday I'll be a teacher. But yes, I teach in the program, and I'm, so it's possible that depending upon what the assignments are, that you could have, you could be in one of my classes, any of you could be in one of Dr. Plummer's classes. The thing is that, Gina, I'm so glad you said this, because we're limited on how many classes we can teach, and we don't make those decisions. Someone else makes those decisions. I was scheduled to teach a class, a diversity and oppression class in New Brunswick, and that was switched late last night. And so I'm teaching the same class in Camden. And so if you were registered for my New Brunswick class, we're gonna have a great instructor that will be teaching in that class, and but it won't be me. And in Camden, I've taught in Camden, well, I've taught this class everywhere, but I'll be teaching it in Camden. So even when we think we're gonna be at a certain place, sometimes we get moved around, and we're team players, so we do what we need to do to make it count. So thank you, Gina.
Thank you. Thank you, you're welcome.
Okay, so I see Matthew's hand is up.
Yes.
It's amazing, I can see these hands, and Melissa as well. So Dr. Plum, can we take a few more minutes and entertain? Okay, Matthew?
All right, this question is to Dr. Plummer because she's heavy into the USWO. Does the Camden have a mentor program for any of the social work classes that they're setting up? Or I'm thinking hopefully the tutoring center is going to be open this semester for some of the higher social work classes.
So let's step back. You asked about USWO and being involved in getting involved.
The New Brunswick said that there's a mentor thing with it, if I caught that right.
Yeah, no, so what I think that was me talking. I said that, I think it was me, but I was trying to say that there's peer mentoring that happens when you are in a student organization, that you can help each other with how to get through the program together. So it does happen, Matthew, in a more or less informal way with your colleagues in Camden as well.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, there's nothing formal, but you can always get involved, and they'll want you to be involved for sure.
Okay.
And what was the second part? I'm sorry.
I'm just wondering, I know sometimes the social work program has assigned tutors for the tutoring center in Camden. I was wondering how that was developing this semester.
Oh, I can find out. I haven't heard anything, but I can reach out to RJ and find out.
Great question. Thanks for asking it. I would imagine that most of the programs, they're going to provide resources and they'll just try to figure out how to do it in a remote way. Advising for your different deans beyond Dr. Plummer and myself is being done also, in a remote way. Let's see. Where did she go? Melissa moved on my screen. Melissa, you had a question.
Yeah, so I'm not, I couldn't get into the intro of social work class. I was wondering, I know you guys can do it from your side. Do I have to email you or is there a way to do it like right now just because I'm getting stressed out? Like I just want to get everything done.
Don't be stressed out. We won't let you be stressed out. Whose class do you want? Dr. Plummer's or my class?
It doesn't matter to me. I'm in the New Brunswick.
That's a good answer. That's a very good.
I just want to be in the class. That's all I'm worried about.
I was gonna light her up if she said the wrong thing. It's not a problem, Melissa. All you have to do is
Dr. Battle, Melissa.
just reach out to Dory. We'll get you in the class today. We meet tomorrow, so
I have one more thing. So I still need biology and statistics for my prerequisites that I didn't get at my last school. I just signed up for statistics. Is it okay if I do I just did the biology. Is it okay if I do statistics next semester, or do I have to do that this semester as well?
You don't have to do it this semester. How many credits will you be taking this semester?
Okay, so right now I was at, it was kind of tricky for me because it's so different from CCM registering. So I'm at 19 right now, but I think I'm going to drop 2 classes and then just pick up maybe 2 more or so. Because I registered for 2 psych classes that I don't need. My friend goes to Rutgers, so he was kind of helping me, but it's like a little bit of a mess.
Yeah. That friend counseling is different from peer counseling. We will help you. We'll straighten it all out for you, Melissa. When you email Dory, make sure you give her your RUID, and we'll do an academic audit of your transcript and degree navigator, and make sure. That.
And also, so I got an associate's in criminal justice, and it's saying that doesn't transfer, so now I have to redo all the core curriculum things. I don't know. It's saying that.
So when you email Dory, let's get you in the class first, and then we'll have a one-on-one Zoom advising, because something you've got a couple things going on, and that can really set you back. So I'm going to check on that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Once you get under Dr. Plummer's wing and my wing, we look out for you. We're going to make sure you're okay.
All right. I appreciate it.
No problem. Okay. I think that we're going to have to call time. So Dr. Plummer's not late for her faculty meeting. Let me give you my, Dr. Plummer, is there any closing words you want to give?
No, I really liked how you said taking them under our wing. We are here to advocate and support you and make this a successful journey.
Thank you. And she really means that. She is a gladiator, a warrior when it comes to students. She will fight for you. And those of you in Camden, you already know that. And when students transfer in from other schools to Rutgers, not social work, but any major, typically the GPA goes down. It's a little dip that happens because of coming to the big university. Rutgers is a big university. No matter which campus you're on, it can be much more complicated. When students come from another school into Rutgers as a social work major, their GPA does not go down. It goes up. You want to know why? Because we have high expectations for you. We are going to give you all the support you need because we believe in you. We made that decision when we admitted you, and we believe in you even more that we have met you. And for the seniors, we've worked with you for a year, and for the juniors, we believe in you. So you're going to do well. You are already champions, and I mean that in the most sincere way. You're going to get support from Bijal and Dory, from Dr. Plummer and myself. Primarily, we're going to be the ones to support you, but you're going to find supportive faculty and a team. So if you have any problems, your problem becomes our problem, and we're going to help you get through it. All right. So I see a hand up. Is that a hand to talk? Or you're just waving at somebody? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate all of you. We do have to run now. Have a great start to the semester. Yes.
I wanted to say something.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I wanted to say, you were just talking about the support that y'all give to the students. I just wanted the student bodies to know that, you know, what you said, like, for the support the students is real, because the support that I received from Rutgers, especially from Professor Plummer and yourself, right, it's been more than I can anticipate. And I just want the class to know that if you have any problems, right, these are the people to go to. They're there for you, and they will assist you, no matter what the problem is. You know, I personally had help from everyone in here, and you know, they've been a blessing to my life. You know what I mean? And the assistance that they gave me, and I really do appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate Rutgers. And I just want everybody to know that, you know, y'all are there for them like you've been there for me. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing that. All right, folks. Have a great rest of the day and a nice start to the semester.
I'm done.
Okay. Bye-bye.